In this class, we will continue our discussion on conformational analysis of cyclic compounds. This is part 2 of my lecture series. Today we will be considering mono-substituted as well as di-substituted cycloalkanes, conformations of. Okay. Now, the first thing is 1,2-dimethyl cyclopentane. I have attempted to draw the structures of this 1,2-dimethyl cyclopentane. Now I will explain. Now in the case of cyclic compounds, we have seen the rotation around carbon-carbon bonds in the ring of a cycloalkane. It is restricted. Therefore, a group on one side of the ring, it can never rotate to the other side of the ring because of the restricted rotation. In the case of a ring structure, there is restricted rotation. Therefore, a group on one side of the ring, it can never rotate and go to the other side of the ring. As a result, what happens? There are two different types. Okay, 1,2-dimethyl cyclopentane. If we take it, there are two different types of 1,2-dimethyl cyclopentenes. And in one structure, it is having two methyl groups on the same side of the ring and one having the two methyl groups on opposite sides of the ring. Okay, so now we have drawn it. This is the first structure A. Here A and B, if we take it, this is A and this is B. 1,2-dimethyl cyclopentane. Okay, now we were telling that there are two different types of 1,2-dimethyl cyclopentenes. One having two methyl groups on the same side of the ring and another one having the methyl groups on opposite sides of the ring. So two methyl groups on the same side of the ring, we call it cis conformation, and methyl groups on opposite sides of the ring, we call it trans conformation. Okay, now wedges and dashes are used to represent this kind of structures. What is this wedge? Here we can see these two methyl groups here. Okay, I have used a wedge here and here it is a dash. Okay, wedge means bonds in front of the plane of the ring. Okay, as if these bonds are coming towards you. When you are looking at that, it is in front of the plane of the ring. That those bonds are represented using a wedge. Okay, so dashes. Now the dashes are used to represent a bond behind a ring, actually behind the plane of a ring. Okay, wedges, bonds in front of the plane of the ring, then dashes, bonds behind the plane of the ring. Okay, now if a carbon is bonded to a methyl group, just like here, if a carbon is bonded to a methyl group, say in front of the ring on a wedge here, just like in the case of it. Now the presumption here is, now it is assumed that the other atom, it is hydrogen. Okay, other atom here, it is assumed the other atom bonded to the carbon is hydrogen behind the ring. Okay, and it is to be represented by a dash. So we have two kinds of representations here. One is a wedge. In stereochemistry, I will be discussing these things in detail. Okay, this is only for your preliminary understanding. Okay, now here we have dashes and here we have wedges and dashes. So wedges are used to represent bonds in front of the ring as if it is projecting towards you. Okay, above the ring we can say. And other one, dashes below the ring or as if it is away from the ring. Okay, behind the ring and above the ring. Wedges and dashes. So here in structure A, these two methyl groups are above the ring. It is known as cis isomer. Okay, that is, it is on the same side. Cis isomer means it is on the same side. Two methyl groups on the same side of the ring. So it is a cis isomer. And here in the structure B, one methyl group is above and one methyl group is below. Therefore, it is a trans isomer. Okay, that is why now I have used a wedge here for a methyl group. This methyl group is a wedge and other one is a dash. Okay, one methyl group is above the plane of the ring and one methyl group below the plane of the ring. Therefore, these two groups are on opposite sides. That is the trans isomer. Okay, wedge, dash, cis, trans. Okay, now these two compounds, the cis and trans, these are all different compounds here. Okay, they cannot be interconverted. A and B, they are isomers because they are different compounds with the same molecular formula. but they represent a major class of isomers called stereoisomers. We will be studying this in detail in another class. Stereoisomers. Okay, they cannot be interconverted. They are different compounds. Two compounds, they cannot be interconverted. A and B, they are isomers because they are different compounds having the same molecular formula, but they represent major class of isomers called stereoisomers. Okay, so what is the stereoisomers here? The different arrangements of atoms or groups in space, different spatial orientation, that is cis and trans. Okay, now the cis and trans 1,2-dimethyl cyclopentane, it can also be drawn as if the, you see these are the things, C and D. This is another way of drawing these cis and trans isomers here. Okay, 1,2-dimethyl cyclopentane, it can also be drawn as if the plane of the ring goes through the, can also be drawn as if the plane of the ring, it goes through the plane of the page or the paper. Okay, the plane of the ring, it will go through the plane of the paper here. So each carbon in the ring, then it has got one bond, it will point above the ring, and one bond that will point below the ring. Okay, so this is the cis isomer here, two methyl groups together. Okay, now this way of representation, how will you describe this thing? Cis and trans 1,2-dimethyl cyclopentane, it can also be drawn as if the plane of the ring, it will go through the plane of the paper. Okay, each carbon in the ring, it has got one bond that will point above the ring and one that will point below the ring. Okay, so this is the cis isomer and this is the trans isomer. This is briefly about 1,2-dimethyl cyclopentane. Okay, then now we will go to 1,4-dimethyl cyclohexane. What is that 1,4-dimethyl cyclohexane? So I will just change this page. When we come to cyclohexane, disubstituted and monosubstituted cyclohexanes, you will study the conformational analysis and the various kind of energy, concepts there. That will be interesting for you. So we will be taking up 1,4-dimethyl cyclohexane. One 1,4-dimethyl cyclohexane. There can be, because of two methyl groups are there, one methyl group can be above the ring, above the plane of the ring, and one can be below the plane of the ring, or on both methyl groups on the same side. Okay, therefore we can have one cis conformation or cis isomer and a trans isomer here. Okay, now how will you draw this? We should draw chair conformation also. So this can be drawn as okay. This is a ring, cyclohexane ring here. Slightly bent, no problem. So trans 1,4-dimethyl cyclohexane. Trans means one group above the ring. We can draw this one. Dimethyl, this is a wedge I am using here. So one methyl group, then the assumption here is it is drawn attached with one more hydrogen that will be behind the ring. Okay, now here this will be the trans isomer. This is all dashes, wedge and dash. This is trans 1,4-dimethyl cyclohexane. Okay, then how will you draw the cis isomer? The same way. The groups should be on the same side of the ring, that's all. Okay, so here it will be again on a wedge. I will just show it, methyl group, and here it will be on another wedge. So it is on the same side of the ring now. Then hydrogen. Okay, this will be hydrogen. Okay, so this will be the cis 1,4-dimethyl 1,4-dimethyl cyclohexane. Now how will you draw the chair conformation? Because each isomer, it will have a chair conformation. Okay, we have to draw the chair conformation now. How will you draw? So arbitrarily just draw two chair conformations here. Okay, then you have to, just like we have been marking now, the up bound and down bound and all. Okay, you are drawing one chair conformation here. So here we have the down bound. This is the down bone, down carbon. Now down bone, this is down carbon, and here it will be up carbon. Okay, down carbon, up carbon. Now on a down carbon, we have seen the axial group will be down, and on an up carbon, the axial group will be up. Okay, so now how will you draw? The simplest conformation we can show, it will be trans. If you are seeing trans isomer, let us see now how it will be. Okay. So now we will have to draw the groups here. Roughly I will draw like this. So now here this group on a, this is the, we have seen this is the down carbon and this is the up carbon. Okay, so up carbon axial group will be up. We have seen that. Okay, and down carbon the axial group will be down and equatorial group will be up, and here it will be down. So arbitrarily we are just picking up, two this thing, one carbon, so draw one chair conformation like this. Straight line. Okay, axial group. So draw one chair conform, add the substituents. Okay, now for trans 1,4-dimethyl cyclohexane, now we are arbitrarily picking up two carbons located 1,4 to each other, because we are considering 1,4-dimethyl cyclohexane. You pick arbitrarily, you just pick up two carbons. Okay, located 1,4 to each other. Now that you classify them as a an up carbon or a down carbon, and then you draw the substituents. Okay, now the trans isomer, it must have one group above the ring, and that means on an up bond. Okay, in the case of a trans isomer, one group will be, okay, one group above the ring, that is on an up bond, and one group will be below the ring, that will be on a down bond. Okay, now it can be, the substituents can either be, it can be axial or it can be equatorial, as long as one is up and one is down. That is a trans isomer, trans conformation. Okay, that means one group, it must be above the ring, that is, it should be on an up bond. Okay, and one group below the ring, that is, it should be on a down bond. The substituents can be either, it can be an axial or it can be equatorial, as long as one is up and one is down. Okay, now the easiest trans isomer which we can visualize, it is having the two methyl groups in the axial position. Okay, here we can put methyl group here, axial position. These two methyl groups are in the axial position. That is the easiest way of drawing a trans isomer. Easiest trans isomer, it will have two methyl groups in the axial position. Two CH3 groups axial. So what is the name of this thing? This arrangement is said to be diaxial. Okay, this is the diaxial arrangement. This is the conformation number 1. Diaxial arrangement. I have put this thing here, and all your hydrogens will be there. You don't have to write all these things now. Okay, so the diaxial conformation, that is the easiest way of drawing a trans 1,4-dimethyl cyclohexane. Now the next one will be ring flipping. Once the ring flips, the up carbon will flips down and the down carbon will flip up. Okay. So how will you draw this ring flipping here? So this carbon, this will go like this, and this will come down like this. Okay, this is the ring flipping. Now ring flipping, up carbon flips down. Up carbon will become a down carbon, and a down carbon will become an up carbon. That is a ring flipping. Okay, now I will just remove this portion of this. Now, how will you show that ring flipping? Like this we'll have to show. So, what will be the nature of the conformation here? Okay, and thereafter we'll have to do this is flip, ring flip. We have to add, Okay, so now this down carbon, it has become up carbon, and that up carbon, it has become down carbon. Now next step will be adding the substituents there. So how will you add the substituents? So ring flipping converts axial bonds to, that axial bond will be converted into equatorial bond, and equatorial bond will be converted into axial bond. Okay, that is the thing in the ring flipping. Okay, and now the diaxial methyl groups here. This is the trans conformation. The easiest trans conformation is this one. Okay, trans 1,4-dimethyl cyclohexane. This is the thing. Here it is diaxial. So when the ring flips, the diaxial, it will become the methyl groups, it will become di-equatorial. Okay, now this is the methyl group here. This methyl group, it will become an equatorial methyl group, and the other axial methyl group, it will become another equatorial methyl group. Okay, that will become a di-equatorial conformation. Diaxial conformation will become di-equatorial conformation during ring flipping. Okay, ring flipping converts axial bonds to equatorial bonds and equatorial bonds to axial bonds. Now the diaxial methyl groups, it will become di-equatorial. That will be another trans conformation. Okay, this is one trans conformation. Now how will you add it is a di-equatorial here? This diaxial, it will become equatorial here. Okay, then here this axial one, it will become equatorial. Okay, this is another conformation. This is a di-equatorial conformation. Okay, one is this is diaxial conformation, and this will be di-equatorial conformation. That is, two methyl groups are in the equatorial position here. This is again trans only, no change. Okay, this is again trans. That is di-equatorial conformation of trans 1,4-dimethyl cyclohexane. Now how will you draw cis conformation now? Cis 1,4-dimethyl cyclohexane. A cis isomer has got two groups on the same side of the ring. It can be either both up or it can be both down. So both conformations will have one methyl group axial and one methyl group equatorial. Okay, making them equally stable. Now if I just remove this is a trans conformation. I hope you have understood this. How will you draw trans conformation here? Now in the case of cis conformation, both the methyl groups should be on the same side of the ring. Okay, that means cis isomer has two groups on the same side of the ring. It can be both up or it can be both down. How will you draw? Very simply we can draw like this. Roughly I will show. Okay. Chair conformation. So here we have, this is the down carbon and this is the up carbon. We will be just marking as a 1,4 position. Okay, so conformation 1 here, this is a cis one. We are going to draw cis 1,4-dimethyl cyclohexane. Okay, so cis isomer had two groups on the same side of the ring. Okay, so I am just drawing here. This will be an equatorial. Methyl group, hydrogen. Then again one axial. Both are on up bound. Okay, so this will be the conformation 1. That is the cis conformation. Okay, now when the ring is flipping, what will happen here? When the ring flips, the up bound will become down bound, down carbon. That all we have discussed. You know that. So I don't want to repeat. Now here, this equatorial methyl group, here it will become axial methyl group. In the flipped condition, this will become axial and this will become equatorial. Okay, now this methyl group axial, it will become equatorial. Like this. Okay, so here both the conformations have got one methyl group in the axial position and another methyl group in the equatorial position. Okay, both conformations have got one methyl group axial, one methyl group equatorial. Therefore, both the conformations will be equally stable. Conformation 1, so we can say of a mixture of these two, it will be the conformation 1, 50%, equally stable. Okay, this is conformation 1 and this is conformation number 2. So this can be 50% and this can also be 50%. Okay, so this is how we will have to draw cis and trans. This is the cis isomer. Conformation 1, conformation 2. Okay, so cis isomer has got both the groups on the same side of the ring. It can be either both up bound or it can be both down bound. Okay, in the same way, how will you draw 1,3-dimethyl? You know, it is the same procedure. I don't have to repeat these things because you know how to draw 1,3-dimethyl. If it is 1,3-dimethyl, what will be the position? So 1,3-dimethyl cis and trans, the same procedure. Pick, you know, two carbons, you just pick up 1,3 to each other. Now the trans isomer, we have to has two groups on opposite sides. Okay, that means we can have opposite sides means one methyl group, it can be equatorial on an up bound and one group can be axial on a down bound. Okay, like that. Now ring flipping again, you will be adding the substituents. Okay, you want to show, I will just write it here for you. 1,3-dimethyl cyclohexane. So there will be cis and trans there also. How will you draw one? You know, just you pick up two carbon atoms, 1,3 to each other. Okay, so again down carbon. Now trans isomer has what? Two groups on opposite sides. Okay, opposite sides we have two groups will be there. That is the trans isomer. Now 1,3, we can say this carbon, we will pick up this carbon here. This is position 1, and then this can be another carbon. Okay, 1,3 to each other. So these both are down carbons here. Now down carbon, axial group down and equatorial up. Okay, that will be a trans conformation here. One is down and another one will be up. Trans isomer has got two groups on opposite sides. Now this is conformation 1, I will be just drawing here. Okay, now if I draw this group here, methyl, this is down bone, both are down carbon, so this is axial, it is down. Okay, then there is an equatorial here, 1,3 position, equatorial. Okay, this is an up carbon, up bond, and this is a down bond. This is our conformation number 1. Okay, trans 1,3-dimethyl cyclohexane. Okay, dimethyl cyclohexane. I will write shortly. So one is down bond, another one is an up bond. Okay, 1,3 position. This is conformation number 1. Now this thing on ring flipping, what will happen? These bonds will become, let us see how it is doing. This is ring flip. Okay, the ring flip, how it will look like. Okay, now 1,3, which are the 1,3 positions here? This is the 1, 2, 3. Okay, I will just mark it here. This is 1, 2, 3 here. Okay, now in this conformation we will have to see one, it will be down, 1 down, this is 1 hydrogen, methyl group. Okay, so then here it should be an up bond, CH3. Hydrogen. Methyl group here. that is equatorial, other methyl group is axial. Okay, this is trans conformation. This is carbon number 2 again. Okay, I'll just remove that. This is trans 1,3 dimethyl cyclohexane. This is conformation number 1 and this is conformation number 2. Okay, in the same way, this is the trans 1. The trans 1 means isomer has two groups on opposite sides. Okay, now in the case of ring flipping, the two down carbons, it will flip up. Okay, axial methyl will become equatorial, but still it is on a down bond. You have to understand that point. Okay, axial methyl here in conformation 1, it becomes equatorial, but it is still on a down bond. Okay, it will not become an up bond here. Axial methyl flips. Okay, so in the ring flipping, the axial methyl group flips equatorial. Still it is a down bond, and the equatorial methyl group flips axial, but still an up bond. Okay, conformation 2 is trans because the two methyl groups are still on opposite sides. Okay, now here also 1 and 2, they are equally stable because each has got one methyl equatorial and one methyl axial. Okay, this is the way you have to draw trans 1,3 dimethyl cyclohexane. In the same way you can draw even cis, so we will not go into that. Now we will study the conformations of dimethyl monosubstituted cyclohexanes. Let us see. Conformations of monosubstituted means only say one substituent cyclohexanes. Okay, we will see conformation of methyl cyclohexane. We can take methyl cyclohexane. So methyl group can be at any position. Methyl cyclohexane. Since there is only one single group here, single group methyl, there cannot be any cis or trans or anything of that kind. Okay, now we will consider two chair conformations of cyclohexane. So how it will be? It will look like. I will draw it slightly this side so that you can draw other structure also. Okay, now this will be flipping to another structure. Now we have drawn two chair conformations of cyclohexane here. Now we have to mark the groups. Okay, I will just put it. Then we can number the carbons here. This can be 1, carbon number 1, then it can be 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 carbons here. Okay. Now we will do one thing. The methyl group, we will put it in the axial position at carbon 1, C1. Okay. We will put it in the axial position here. One methyl group here. Then we will just put the hydrogens. 2. Then here there will be a hydrogen at the position number 3 and 5. These are the important hydrogens for us. Okay. Most of the groups I have marked now. Important groups here. Then okay, now ring flipping this methyl group, it will become axial. This axial will become equatorial. In the ring flipping, it will become equatorial. Okay. Yeah, we can draw all the hydrogens and groups here so that it will be full. Okay, here there will be a hydrogen. It's an axial hydrogen only, but that is getting bent all the time. Yeah. Okay. I think we have marked most of the groups now. So this is the methyl cyclohexane. Okay, one is, after ring flipping, here in the conformation A, we have, this is conformation A and this is conformation B after ring flip. Okay, so now conformation A, the methyl group is in the axial position. Okay, in the conformation B, the methyl group is in the equatorial position. Okay, now in the equatorial position, there is no steric strain interaction. We will say how it is. We will just explain. Here I will write down, there is no steric strain interaction. Okay, equatorial position, no steric strain interaction. Okay, now here in the conformation A only the problem comes. Now there is something called 1,3 diaxial interaction. That is, the hydrogen atoms on carbon 3, C3 and carbon 5, they are 1,3 diaxial to each other. That is C3 and C5. C3, C5. Okay. Now we have two axial hydrogens here. I have just marked it here. These hydrogens are 1,3 to each other. Carbon 3 and carbon 5. These two axial hydrogens are 1,3 diaxial to each other. And here there is a methyl group. Then there will be an interaction called 1,3 diaxial strain interaction. 1,3 diaxial strain interaction. Okay, so there will be 1,3 diaxial steric strain interaction between the methyl group and the hydrogen atoms on C3 and C5. How that interaction will be there? Okay, this C3 hydrogen and this methyl group, there can be an interaction like this. Okay, and this C5 hydrogen and this methyl group. So this is called 1,3 diaxial steric strain interaction, or simply 1,3 diaxial strain interaction in conformation A. But in conformation B, there is no such interaction here because the methyl group is in the equatorial position. Okay, since the methyl group is in the equatorial position, there is no 1,3 diaxial strain interaction. Now, you see, now in the downside of the ring, there is no 1,3 diaxial steric interaction between the hydrogen atoms because there are electron clouds. It will be too small compared to that of the methyl group. On the bottom of the ring, we can say we have only hydrogen atoms. There are no steric strain interactions here. In the case of conformation B or conformation A, whatever it is there, because of the hydrogen atoms do not have that kind of an electron cloud here. Okay, compared to the methyl group, 2 hydrogen atoms as the electron clouds are much smaller than that of the methyl groups. Therefore, on the bottom of the ring, we have only hydrogen atoms. Therefore, there is no strain interaction. Okay, this is the principle, 1,3 diaxial strain interaction. That is the carbon at C3 and axial hydrogen at C3 and C5 on the chair conformation. It will have an interaction with the methyl group as shown here now. Okay, that is 1,3 diaxial strain interaction. Now, this is the case of a single substituted. Now, if it is a disubstituted 2 methyl groups, okay, disubstituted cyclohexane, what will be the position? We will study that. Now, before that, I will just discuss one important point here. In conformation A, axial position, any bulky group in the axial position, it is always unstable. Rather, the energy will be high. An axial methyl group, it is close to, I will just explain to you. In A, if we take this conformation, now there are 2 1,3 diaxial steric strain interaction. Okay, what 2 are there? This is one. This is one interaction and this is the second interaction. Okay, so there are 2 1,3 diaxial steric strain interaction here in conformation A, and the methyl group between the methyl group and the axial hydrogens at C3 and C5. An axial methyl group, it is close to the 2 other axial hydrogen atoms here. Okay, it will create 2 destabilizing steric interactions. That is the called 1,3 diaxial interaction. What is 1,3 diaxial interaction means? It will be a destabilizing interaction. Okay, an axial methyl group close to 2 other axial hydrogen atoms. Okay, it will create 2 destabilizing steric interactions called, that is the 1,3 diaxial interaction. Now, all atoms in the 1,3 diaxial position on the bottom of the ring, they are hydrogen atoms here. Okay, therefore there is no strain interaction. Now, if you see conformation B, the methyl group, it is in the equatorial position. Now, all diaxial positions are occupied by hydrogen only here. Therefore, there are no 1,3 diaxial strain interaction. And there is no torsional strain also here because adjacent bonds are all staggered here. There is no torsional strain also. So when the methyl group, it is in axial position, there are 2 1,3 diaxial strain interactions. Okay, between the methyl group and the hydrogen atoms. But when the methyl group is in the equatorial position, all the 1,3 diaxial positions are occupied by hydrogen atoms, and therefore there is no strain interaction. Now, a conformation with methyl group in the equatorial position, it will be more stable than a conformation with a methyl group in the axial position. So, a bulky group, okay, something larger than hydrogen, it will be more stable in equatorial position than in an axial position. Okay, so larger axial substituents, it will create unfavorable 1,3 diaxial interactions. Okay, larger axial substituents. This is always a problem. Larger axial substituents, they create unfavorable 1,3 diaxial strain interactions, destabilizing a cyclohexane conformation. What the point? Okay, a bulky group, something larger than hydrogen, it will be more stable in an equatorial position than in an axial position. Okay, so a conformation with a methyl group in the equatorial position, it will be more stable than a conformation with a methyl group in the axial position. Okay, that is why a larger axial substituents, it will create unfavorable 1,3 diaxial strain interactions. It will destabilize the cyclohexane conformation. Okay, now with an equatorial methyl group, the steric interactions with the nearby groups are minimized. Okay, if when the conformation B, the methyl group is in the equatorial position, therefore there is no steric interactions with the nearby groups here. But an axial methyl group, it is close to 2 other hydrogen atoms, okay, creating the destabilizing unfavorable 1,3 diaxial interaction. Larger axial substituents create unfavorable 1,3 diaxial interaction, destabilizing a cyclohexane conformation. Okay, now if you see a bulky, much bigger group, just like a tertiary butyl group, what will be the position here? A tertiary butyl group, okay, now a bulky group like tertiary butyl group, example, tertiary butyl group will be CH3, CH3 is a very bulky group. Okay, now this bulky group, tertiary butyl group, it is essentially in an axial position. We have not even isolated any tertiary butyl group in the axial position. Okay, it's a bulky group. At room temperature, we have not seen none of the conformations containing an axial tertiary butyl group. So ring is essentially containing only a single conformation. In the case of tertiary butyl group, so it's single conformation having an equatorial tertiary butyl group. There is no axial tertiary butyl group, because now here, say carbon atom 2, if there is a tertiary butyl group here, now it becomes too crowded here, axial position here. Okay, it is highly unstable. We have virtually seen essentially single equatorial conformation is seen with an axial, with a tertiary butyl group in the equatorial position. Okay, now we will see 1,4-dimethyl cyclohexane. What are the steric interactions in the case of 1,4? Now we have seen the monosubstituted case. Now in the case of disubstituted, how it will be? See, in the case of dimethyl cyclohexane, conformation 1,4-di. Now I think if I change this one, okay, I'll have to redraw, no problem. Okay, now we will see 1,4. The conformations of 1,4-dimethyl cyclohexane, we can draw 4 chair conformations. Okay, cis conformation, we can draw, one methyl group is axial and one methyl group equatorial. Then there will be 1,3 diaxial interaction, all these kind of a thing we can draw now. Okay, I will just show you how it is to be drawn. Now 1,4-dimethyl cyclohexane cis form and trans form we will just draw here. Okay, here these interactions will be very interesting. You see, okay, this is one conformation. Okay, so here I will be drawing 1,4-dimethyl in the cis form. Okay, cis form, one methyl group should be axial and one methyl group should be equatorial. Okay, that is the cis conformation. Now we will draw CH3 H. Okay, it is 1,4 CH3 H. Okay, so we have drawn this thing, CH3 group. Now we have to draw axial hydrogen atoms here. Okay, which are the, we will just mark all the hydrogens, then it will be very clear. Okay, this is a hydrogen in the axial position. Then here I will just redraw it for you. Then only the groups will be very clear. Okay, now it is okay. Now here will be an axial hydrogen methyl group. One methyl axial and one methyl equatorial, because we are considering cis conformations. Okay. One hydrogen like this, axial again. Then there will be an equatorial hydrogen here. I think we have drawn most of the groups now. 1,4-dimethyl cyclohexane. Okay, this is one conformation. This will be the cis form, one methyl axial cis form, cis conformation. Okay, one methyl axial, then 1 methyl equatorial. Okay, 1 methyl axial, 1 methyl equatorial. So we have shown here, this is a cis conformation A. We can just name it as a A. Now, ring flipping, what will happen? This will change. Okay, in ring flipping, this conformation will become okay. Now we will mark this thing, this axial methyl group, it will become equatorial methyl group. Okay. Hydrogen. This is conformation B. Okay. Cis form again. Cis form. This is conformation B. Okay. Here, each conformation has the same number of steric and torsional strain interaction. We will just show that thing how it is. Okay. Cis 1,4-dimethyl cyclohexane. This is our and this thing. Now here, if you take it, now these hydrogen atoms here in the 1,3 position. Okay. Hydrogen number see this hydrogen, this and 3, this is in 1,3 position. Okay, that is 1,3 diaxial steric strain interaction will be here between this methyl group and this hydrogen atom here. Okay, like this, there can be steric strain interaction here. When this axial group, axial methyl group and the hydrogen atoms at 1,3 position, there can be CH3 two interactions here, 2 CH3 HCH3 1,3 diaxial strain. It will be there. Okay, in conformation A. Now if you take conformation B, it will be the same thing here also. Okay, this hydrogen here, there will be an interaction with this methyl group like this. There can be 2. Okay, so there will be 2 HCH3 1,3 diaxial strain interaction in each structure. Okay, each conformation, it has got the same number of steric and torsional strains interactions. Therefore, both are of equal energy or equal stability. Okay, so these cis conformations both are of equal stability and equal energy here, because the number of interactions are here also the same thing, 2 HCH3 1,3 diaxial strain interaction. Okay, therefore this is cis 1,4-dimethyl cyclohexane. Now when we come to the trans isomer, there will be a difference here. This I will clear. I hope you have understood. Okay, now we have seen cis. Now let us see how the trans will look like. That will be more interesting for you. Trans 1,4-dimethyl cyclohexane. Okay, so trans isomer, again, both methyl groups in equatorial position. Trans means both methyl groups will be in equatorial position. Let us see how the reaction will be here. Okay, so here one hydrogen, so this methyl group here on a down bond. Okay, now here equatorial, axial, correct. So this will be our trans isomer. Okay, both methyl groups in the equatorial position. Both methyl groups in equatorial position. Here there will not be no interaction here. No hydrogen methyl 1,3-diaxyl interaction. Okay, this is equatorial position. Here there is no interaction. Both methyl groups are in the equatorial position, therefore there is no hydrogen methyl group 1,3-diaxyl interaction in this conformation. Okay, this is conformation number C. We have seen A, B, C. We have now the C. Now ring flipping. Here it will be interesting for you. Okay, ring flipping. What will be the nature of the interactions here? Okay, now in ring flipping, the equatorial methyl groups, it becomes axial methyl groups. We know that. So this methyl, it will become axial here. Okay, here it will be axial. So axial methyl always create problem, stability problem. We have seen that. Now this hydrogen, there will be one hydrogen here. Okay, one hydrogen here, axial position. This is equatorial. Then here it is equatorial. Then this methyl group is here. Then there will be one axial here. This is equatorial here. Then this will be axial hydrogen. There will be another axial hydrogen here. Okay. These are another trans conformations here. Okay. So both methyl groups are axial. Trans 1,4-dimethyl cyclohexane, both methyl groups axial. So here, so many interactions will be there. Okay. One 3-diaxial strain interaction here between this hydrogen atom, 1,3 position, and this methyl group. And then this hydrogen atom and these methyl groups, because they are close to each other. It's a 1,3 diaxial position here. Okay, that will be like this. Then here, the downside of the ring, we have, here I have not marked the hydrogen, it is understood. Okay, so here, this methyl group and this hydrogen atom, there can be interaction. Okay, and here, this methyl group, it can interact with this hydrogen atom. So there will be four interactions will be there. 4 hydrogen CH3 1,3 diaxial interactions. Diaxial strain interaction. Okay, so this is the one for dimethyl cyclohexane trans conformations here. Okay, both are trans here. Methyl groups equatorial position in the conformation C. Okay, now here the methyl groups in the axial position. When it is in the axial position, we have get 2 sets of 1,3 diaxial strain interactions here. Hydrogen methyl groups interactions. There will be 2 sets here. Okay, so this will be the least stable one compared to this one, and this is the most stable one, trans conformation. This is the most stable one because it has no interaction anywhere. Okay, this is most stable and this will be the least stable one. Okay, these are the various conformations here. Cis and trans we have seen. 1,4 dimethyl cyclohexane here. Okay, we know how to draw it also. So I hope you have understood the conformation analysis of the substituted cyclohexanes here. Okay, thank you so much for listening.